Hello and welcome. I'm glad you're here today. In this episode, I want to talk about something simple but powerful: reading books. Many people want to speak better English, think more clearly, or feel more relaxed. And reading can help with all of these. Whether you read for fun, for learning, or for peace of mind, books can become a very important part of your life. Today, I'll share my experience, some tips, and reasons why reading is a habit worth building. Let's get started. I want to talk about something that has changed my life: reading books. For many people, reading is just a hobby, but for me, it became a habit, a tool for learning, and even a way of thinking differently. When I was younger, I didn't enjoy reading. I thought it was boring and slow, preferred watching movies or playing games. But one day, I read a novel that really touched me. It wasn't a famous book. It was a simple story about someone's life, yet it made me feel something new. Since then, I started reading more. And over the years, I discovered how powerful reading can be. Books are more than just paper and ink. They are ideas, experiences, emotions, and knowledge. When you read, you don't just follow a story, you enter another person's world. You see how they think, feel, and act. It helps you understand different lives, cultures, and perspectives. This is especially important today, when people often judge each other quickly. Reading teaches you patience and empathy. It also improves your language, memory, and imagination. Reading is not always easy, especially if you're trying to read in another language. When I started reading English books, I had to stop often to look up words. Sometimes I didn't understand whole sentences, but I kept going. Over time, I started to understand more. I noticed new grammar patterns, learned new vocabulary without memorizing it. I even started to think in English while reading. That's when I realized reading is one of the best ways to improve a language. At first, I chose short and simple books. Then I moved on to stories with more complex plots. After that, I started reading nonfiction books too, about psychology, business, travel, and self-improvement. Fiction books help you connect emotionally. Nonfiction books help you grow mentally. Both are useful, and both can be enjoyable, depending on your mood and your goals. Some people say they don't have time to read, but I think it's more about priorities than time. We all have small moments during the day, on the bus, before sleeping, or during lunch breaks. Even reading 10 pages a day can make a big difference over a month. If you read just 10 pages a day, you can finish around 12 books a year. That's already more than most people read. The key is to be consistent, not fast. Another excuse I often hear is, "I can't focus." This is true for many people today, especially because of phones and social media. Our attention span is shorter, but reading can actually help you train your focus again. Start with short chapters. Turn off your notifications. Choose a book that really interests you. Don't force yourself to read what you think you should read. Read what makes you curious. Once you build the habit, focus becomes easier. I've also tried audiobooks and ebooks. Used to think that only paper books were real books. But I was wrong. Audiobooks are perfect when your eyes are tired or when you're walking, cleaning, or cooking. You can still enjoy stories or learn something new without sitting down. Ebooks are light and easy to carry. You can highlight sentences and look up meanings quickly. The most important thing is not how you read, but that you read. Reading has also improved the way I speak and write. I didn't notice it immediately, but after months of regular reading, I started using more natural expressions. I became better at describing things, also understood tone and structure better. This helped me write essays, prepare presentations, and have deeper conversations. Reading makes you a better communicator. Even if you never study grammar directly, choosing the right book is important. If a book is too difficult, you might get frustrated. If it's too easy, you might get bored. Try reading a few pages before deciding. If it feels like a good balance, not too hard, not too simple, then go for it. Don't be afraid to stop a book you don't like. Life is too short to read something that doesn't interest you. There are millions of books out there. There's always another one that might suit your taste. Reading also helps with emotional health. When I feel anxious or low, reading calms me down. A good story can take my mind away from stress. Sometimes, reading someone else's struggles reminds me that I'm not alone. Other times, A motivational book gives me the energy to move forward. Books can be a kind of therapy. They don't replace real help, but they support your journey. I've noticed that my relationship with books has changed over time. When I was younger, I read mostly for fun. Now, I also read to learn, but I never forget to enjoy it. Still smile when I find a character I love or when I read a beautiful sentence. That feeling never goes away, and that's why I continue reading, even when life is busy. I also like to keep a small notebook next to me when I read. I write down words or phrases that I like. Sometimes I try to use those words in my own sentences later. This turns reading into an active learning process. You don't just receive information, you also use it. That's how your brain really remembers it. One of the best things about books is that they're always there. You don't need a fast internet connection. You don't need a group or a teacher. You just need time and curiosity. Books are patient. They wait for you to open them. They don't judge you. You can read slowly or quickly. You can read the same page 10 times. No one will complain. Some books you read once and forget. Others stay with you forever. Still remember lines from books I read years ago. Those words became part of how I think. Sometimes when I face a problem in life, I remember a story or idea from a book that helps me see things differently. That's the real power of reading. It changes your thoughts, and your thoughts change your life. If someone asks me how to become more confident in English, or how to think clearly, or how to improve vocabulary, I always give the same answer. Start reading. Don't wait to become perfect. Don't wait to finish grammar books. Start now. Even if you understand only 70%, that's okay. You will grow with every page. Reading doesn't give results overnight. It's slow progress, like planting seeds. But one day, without noticing, you'll realize you're using a word you read months ago. You'll write a sentence that sounds natural. You'll understand a joke in a novel that you couldn't understand before. And that's when you'll know reading works. So, if you haven't read anything in a while, pick up a book. Choose something short, interesting, and at your level. Don't compare yourself to others. Your reading journey is your own. The important thing is to keep going, one page at a time. Reading has taught me discipline, imagination, kindness, and so much more. And I know it can do the same for anyone who gives it a chance. Thank you for listening today. I hope this episode gave you some motivation to start reading, or to continue if you already do. Remember, even a few pages a day can make a big difference. Reading is not only good for your language skills, it's also good for your heart and your mind. I'll be back again soon with another topic to help you learn, think, and grow in English. Until then, take care and keep reading.